Understand why, so many people are fearful. And I guess what people say is like, if you're not fearful, they're quick to just throw the crazy thing at you. And I just feel like I have friends that are respectful to me that don't want to say crazy. And I say, well, you could just say Yeezy then. You don't have to say
Yeezy right now.
You say, oh, we going Yeezy. Like if something
that sounds like an album title.
If something is crazy and it's like you don't know if it's good or bad, that could be crazy. But if it's crazy and you know it's like really good, that's
fine.
Yeezy.
That's Yeezy.
That's fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment we have all been waiting for. I'm in the presence of someone that I consider a true friend, someone that I love, a man of God.
Please.
Yeah. Yes.
In this corner.
The one and only. Class is in session with Mr. Kanye West.
It's this whole thing where people are supposed to be, these express these superpowers, but then put on like a Clark Kent outfit or something and that express themselves like how they would express themselves. Yep. Like I always knew that I should have a vest on right now. Like I always knew I was going to wear a vest as a part of my campaign. My dad was like, so why did you wear a vest? I was like, I saw one. It just reminded me. I was like, oh man, I really meant to wear a vest.
That's the whole thing on my radio show. My whole thing, you see the billboards and stuff. I be in my vest in LA because it's like
you wear a vest.
We dangerous when we speak. So
and also the rest of my outfit in South Carolina was actually the exact outfit that the security was wearing. So and the vest is exactly what the security.
They can't be secure, and I'm not secure. I want to be just as safe as them. I'll tell you.
And just egalitarian saying to be, at the beginning, middle, and the end of the day, I'm a dad, and there's so many fathers that they have jobs where their whole point in life is to take care of their family,
be a provider,
and to be a provider, and you can get when you're supposed to provide only one service, like we need your new album. It's to be able to go and just provide for your kids, but be able to set a tone of morality, a tone of spirituality. Like God brought me to my knees multiple times. The first time that I was put into the hospital in 2016, I actually started reading the Bible. That was part of what God hit me with. And, God has a calling on all of us, and he uses us in different ways because, I'm not going to lie to you. I like being cool. I didn't go into an environment to come off uncool.
Right.
Why would I want to come off uncool if I've been, telling Forbes for 3 years to put me on the list, and they intentionally snubbed me off the list? I felt like Forbes kept snubbing me because they wanted to say, we can't show you a person being successful that didn't do it the exact way that we told you need to do it in order to be successful.
Right. You got to follow the model.
Yeah. So almost everything I break the model on it. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's like the model's not even interested in me. Yeah. Like people, a lot of times we point fingers at the makers of the world, the large organizations that created the school systems that we grow up in now. And what I'm saying now that we're working on schools and communities and cities, and I say cities, like people are like, oh, charter city? No, just city. Because it's charter cities almost like trying to make it like it's okay to say that you're building a city because that sounds more normal. If I sound normal, then the whole world failed, not just me. Like I should not say nothing that sounds normal. This is a very super normal situation that we're dealing with here.
And that's always been your vibe. Yeah. Man, it's an honor to really sit with you on this session of Cannon's class. I mean, it's probably going to be one. to sit with a true genius, a billionaire, artist, so many other things, but someone that I called a friend for so long. Multi-billionaire.
And multi-genius.
And multi-genius. I forgot the multi.
No, because you know what my whole thing I hate about 1 billionaires? If they
Dude, I can't stand them 1 billionaire ass.
You know, if they go to Taco Bell, then they not a billionaire no more. And like, I love Taco Bell. You know,
but I want to still be a billionaire once I leave Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell and Bell. And like, I'm gonna tell you, better not nobody say nothing bad about Taco Bell. That's what's not finna happen.
We ain't gonna disrespect the Bell.
You ain't finna disrespect Taco Bell or ramen noodles.
In fact, we grew up on that.
I grew up on both of those things.
After school, Taco Bell, and then dinner, ramen noodles. Nah, but that's the thing, man. We sitting here talking and building out, and I just want to kind of back it up all the way.
You know what I wanted to say, though, just with the humility that God brings? What he says none of that matters, right? Because I went in from being snubbed by a magazine, but I was recognized by God, right? Where, you know, I would do Sunday service and it would be atheists that would come and tell me, well, maybe you shouldn't mention Jesus' name so much. Wow. And you know, that's all I need to hear. And I was like,
I'm gonna say it
Jesus. Thank you for
exactly.
Thank you for inciting the riot.
Yeah.
So look, this year it seemed like, you know, there was an accomplishment where, you know, I was on the Bloomberg list for, they finally recognized that my net worth at that time was $3.3 billion, and then my net worth almost doubled after I did the Gap deal to $5 billion. But the accomplishment was to have that and to be able to still be sensitive enough to cry at the idea of aborting my daughter, and to really.
And people didn't understand that. Like, they couldn't tap into it because they didn't see the humanity and the love that you were trying to put forth.
Or you got to put on a front because you're cool. Like, I had a friend that said, it seems like you're not enjoying it. Well, what's the it? Because North don't read Forbes. She just know if daddy is home or not. Right. You know, if I'm away for 2 weeks, she's like, Dad, I miss you. Right. It's like our family is just the key to the world, period. From our immediate family to our friends and family, our coworkers and family, our city and family, our state and family, our country and family, our world. That if we, just like everywhere you go, people say, hola, hello, ni hao ma.
Right.
I used to speak Chinese.
You went to school out there, right?
Yeah, so it's our culture to say hi. See, our culture, the culture of humanity, needs to be family, a culture of family, but the design of our cities, the design of our schools, there's a lot of things designed for us to that are designed to not promote family. They're designed to create separation. Right. And in that separation, there's capital opportunity. Mm-hmm. There's someone's lonely, has to go to the bar. Someone misses their friends, has to go to the club. Has someone, and so I really get into the study of like the kibbutz designs, and primitive cultures. When I'm designing cities, like I've been really going.
We go check. I see it when we pulled up out there. Just that the whole vibe of the infrastructure, the houses you build,
and I'm the guinea pig. I'm guinea pigging on myself. I gotta say, I've lived in every form of home. I've lived in China for a year. I was designing my first 2 collections that we showed in Paris. My high fashion collections. I was living in London, like right where they're having the riots in London. Our design studio was right there. I obviously was born in Atlanta, grew up in Chicago, lived in New York, and lived in California, and now I live in Wyoming. It's, you know, when I came to Wyoming, one of my favorite visuals was seeing a family of 3 deer right in front of a cabin. That just, it felt like that's God. Right. and man.
Yeah.
And just a simplicity. And here it's, the church is within walking distance. It's one school that I had made a donation to. With the school is inside the church.
Wow.
I remember when I was growing up, there'd be times where the school was actually inside of the church.
Yeah, that's how I grew up too.
When you remove the fear of God, the fear and love of God, you create room for the fear and love of everything else.
Right.
Now, I'm really into wording things in a positive affirmation. I would like to get to a point. We shall get to a point where, see, I said we because I intentionally didn't want to say I. So
Right.
we shall get to a point where we can communicate as simple as Yoda. There's so many words, and people get caught up in the words, and we're having fights over words. But in the future, we're going to be having wars over water. Actual essential. Now let's pray that the kids at MIT and the
Right.
ecologists can
Figure it out.
We can figure out so we don't get to that point. But just, you start to learn what the essentials are. Like
Right.
it's funny, you could just see a picture, because like I've like bought McMansions and redid them and tried to have add taste.
But still fitting into some kind of a mold.
Yeah, some construct, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. Somebody else's house is right there, so I got to make sure mine is flyer than theirs and all of that vibe.
Yeah, one of the things where I disappointed myself is when we went to Architectural Digest, when we now I've been reading Architectural Digest since I was 18 years old, so it was always a dream of mine to be in Architectural Digest. But I always promised myself I wouldn't start buying like multi-million-dollar piece of art. Sure enough, by the time we get there, I got this Anish Kapoor.
Right.
It's this $1 million piece of art that Axel Vavort sold me.
Fly shit.
Yeah, and I'm just, but it's like, why you got $1 million piece of art when there's like homeless people in front of the Gucci store? And it's like, I start to, to get pulled into that. And this is the reason why, creating clothes at the Gap where everything is
affordable.
Yeah, under $100.
Yeah.
Like Old Navy prices.
Yeah.
But then having